Hi. Hi, y'all. Got my wig on. Happy Halloween. It's the day I go to Coda at noon, and sometimes we go out to eat afterwards, and I just got back. So I apologize for being late. I'm a little bit. Oh, and I don't know if I'll be able to do it because, wait, I think I can. I'm going to download a short of me going through the traffic. Let me do that. Oh, and I'm going to put this on. Cool. Cool.
Some of my videos.
I am going to put this video of my traffic in the rain on my YouTube right now, because that is why I'm late. I have a good excuse this time for being late. I was, coming out from Denver, and there was traffic, as there always is at this time of evening. So how is everybody? We're getting close. And yeah. And it's getting real. It's getting real. It's getting close. I hope everybody's going to vote. But honestly, I hope everyone's going to vote for the right person. I put my sign up in my window. The blue sign. Okay, I'm going to upload this short. So yeah, I've been busy today. I got this sign at the rally I went to, and it's I'm like, no, the camo is gonna remind me of my ex, and it's gonna trigger me. I don't like and I don't like the orange either. We're trying to take back the orange and the camo, I guess. I don't know about that. I'm gonna light the candle. Gonna light my candle. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Thank you all for being here. There's nobody here yet, but I know you will be here and you will watch the replay. So I appreciate that. I appreciate people watching the replay. Let me see something here. So like pretty much all day today has been, I got up. I'm not a morning person. I'm 2 a.m., 3 a.m. I went to bed early last night, which was early for me was 1 a.m. So yeah, that will tell you about me. So it's pretty much getting up and getting going, and, going into Denver, so I have to leave. Oh goodness, I was running late, so I'm so glad I made it to Coda on time, because it takes me a half hour to get there. Alrighty, I put that on subscribers only. I'm going to share it out. Let's see. How is everybody doing tonight? What's up? What are you doing for Halloween? And tell me what's up. Tell me what your plans are for voting, if you voted or not. And if you don't want to talk about it, then don't talk about it. No name calling, please. You will be banished. And when I say Trump's a 34 felon, 34 count felon, that's that's saying the truth. That's saying the truth. When I say he's a sexual offender, yeah, that's the truth. So that's not name calling. But you're going to call someone who is a liberal a hag? No, that's not cool here. That's not cool here. And I'll repeat it. No, that's ugliness. That's showing your ugliness. I'm sorry, but it is. So, yeah. And I'm kind of optimistic in a way. I think the MAGAs are getting really upset because their candidate is losing, honestly. A disastrous rally where he alienated all the Puerto Ricans. And I'm just like, okay, looking on the bright side, I think he's going to lose. But anyways, the polls are not accurate, y'all. It's not totally accurate. So we'll see. Everybody, I guess, needs to, and I try to mentally prepare myself, although it's scary. I try to mentally prepare myself for it going either way. But I'm optimistic. I'm optimistic. Let me play something for you. 3 watching. Hello. Welcome to Reds. So yeah, I went to Dakota and we got these little monster cards for Halloween, and they have codependent patterns on them. I judge what I think, say, or do harshly as never good enough. Guilty. And our recovering patterns are: I trust my higher power's guidance and my intuition in making effective decisions. Yes. I didn't really have time to brush my hair. I just threw my wig on and here I am. So, and I wanted to say my 12-step poem, Steps to Serenity. It's in this book, which I need to order more of these. If anybody wants one, you can PayPal, Venmo, Cash App me, and send me your snail mail address to this email, and I'll send you a signed copy of the 7-Story Tree. It might take a while right now if you order it, because I haven't ordered them myself. But it's best to get it from me, and then you can get it signed, and it helps me out more, because Amazon really doesn't give me that much if you buy it from them. Hey, Char. Hi. How are you? Oh, like I forget who I've sent it to. Yeah, you do have a copy of the book, don't you? Cool. Yeah, when I wrote this, I was still in. Hey, Glenn. I was still in the evangelical church, the Southern Baptist Church, and I was still a Christian national. I was still a Republican when I wrote this. So, and it was very, very cult-like. But when Trump came on the scene, I was like, no, I can't stay. I can't vote for him in good conscience. As a Christian, I can't vote for a sexual offender in good conscience. So in 2016, though, I am ashamed to say I did not vote. I actually wish I had voted for Hillary, but I could not vote for Hillary. I was still a Republican at that time, I would say. But the Republican Party is gone. For any of you guys thinking that that's the Republican Party of Reagan, that is not the Republican Party of Reagan. Like, no, like, no, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Oh, motivation. Okay. Yeah, I was thinking of talking about, like, I kind of just generally let it go where it goes. I don't know. And then sometimes I'll put a topic on it afterwards. And Monday night I had another, and I won't say, like, some of these people I know longer, and I usually know, even though we don't talk about it. Like, Roy and Becky, I pretty much knew where they stood. And also Tim, I knew where he stood. But Monday night, Tim came in and he said, friends don't talk politics. Friends don't talk with friends on politics. And then he proceeded to keep talking politics, and knowing that I was talking politics and he didn't agree with my politics. And I guess he didn't consider me a friend. And then I unmoderated him because he called Nancy Pelosi a hag. And I'm just like, no, that's not cool. That's not cool. I'm sorry, that's not cool. And then he says, I can't discuss it. I'm like, can you discuss it? Can you discuss it without calling a liberal a hag? You should be able to if you're a grown man. You should be able to. But, and he's not blocked. You're not blocked. Hopefully I won't have to block you. Yeah, not cool to call names. And like, we weren't talking, he brought up Obama, a fourth term for Obama. I guess he's I think this is insane. Some Republicans think that Obama is running, like Obama's running Biden. And then when Kamala gets in, Obama's running her. I mean, like, I'm sorry. I can't, I'm done trying to talk to them. I'm just mostly I'm just blocking them, and they usually come to my page. And now I forgot someone I believe I blocked them on Instagram, and then they posted something on my threads. I'm like, okay, well, I'm not wasting my time because I decided I have 7,150 followers across all my social media. I added it up and I'm like, wow, that's pretty cool. Because like I have almost 3,000 on my Twitter. I have 1,000 on my YouTube, 1,500 combined to Facebooks, my personal Facebook and my Redheaded Writing Hood. They're all on my community tab if you want to follow me on any of them. And so, I'm trying to not really, it's not good for my mental health. I was thinking of talking about mental health. I'm like, it's not good for my mental health. This one nasty, mean MAGA he came to my page with his lies about that. For all of you seeing the meme about the hecklers that were saying Jesus is Lord, they were not saying Jesus is Lord. They were saying lies, lies. And she shut down the hecklers and said, oh, you're at the wrong rally. They were not saying Jesus is Lord. She's a Christian. Your candidate is not a Christian. He's the absolute opposite of Christian. And I say this, and I don't say for sure because I don't know. Anybody's saying for sure. Like they called her at the Madison Square Garden rally. They called Kamala the Antichrist. They called her the devil. They called her the C word. But Donald Trump is the one that is deceiving millions of Christians, and he fits the bill for the Antichrist. Ask any Christian that studies their Bible, not just listens to what some pastor says, and that's all they know. I haven't even seen it on the news. If you look on the YouTube, I found the whole clip of her whole message, her whole speech. And they're not saying that. You can't even hear what they're saying, for one. But I looked at a couple of different ones, and they were saying lies, lies. April Ajoy went over this too on her Instagram. She said, oops. She said somebody way in the back, and it was probably them saying, someone way in the back said Jesus is Lord, but it wasn't very loud, and they were in the back. They wouldn't even heard her. I'm getting a tissue. But anyways, they want to pick everything she does apart, and then they don't. Our side needs to take the one where what I thought yesterday, because I watched Michelle Obama, and somebody was fainting, and how she handled it, and how compassionately and great she handled it. And then Trump is like, does anybody else want to pass out? And he's just like, oh my goodness, no compassion. And then somebody asked him to pray. Yeah, pray, Donald. He doesn't know how to pray. He doesn't know any Bible verses either. He never saw the need to ask God for forgiveness. Like, that's the whole concept of Christianity, y'all. Did you know that? Hi, Sylvia. How are you? So what specifically are you talking about in the news, Char? Claiming different the next day? Did he try to pray? No, he didn't even try to pray. He just ignored that person. And neither one of them, I mean, he's not even that, well, he's pretty stupid, in my opinion. But even he's not stupid. And certainly Kamala is very, very smart. So much smarter than Donald Trump. If they took an IQ test, they both took an IQ test, I know who would win. If they took a test on anything, she would beat him. They debated. Remember that? She beat the crap out of him. So anyways, but no, he didn't try to pray. He doesn't pray. He doesn't read his Bible. He didn't even read his wife's book. He admitted it. I don't have the time. And she's pro-choice too, by the way. Melania, whatever her name is. Anyways, I've been praying for them. I hope you all are well. How are you? Where did you see that, Elon? What news are you listening to? No, you. No. Elon's not. Trump wanted January 6th exposed. You know he's been tried for that. Have you listened to Liz Cheney? Yeah, you need to be careful who you listen to, Char. He's a felon. 34 counts. He should not even be allowed to run for. You know, there's many jobs. You know where they ask you if you've been convicted of a felony? Why do they ask you that? They're not going to hire you, and yet he can run for president. It makes absolutely no sense. The world has gone crazy. But yeah, I never saw anything. No, Elon has been for Trump for a while. Now, JD Vance, he used to be again. He's the one that called Trump, and oh my goodness. There's just so much going on Facebook, and I've had to sort of step back. I'll read you what I said on Facebook. Oh, and it doesn't matter. Like, I really think, unless you're watching Fox News, I don't know. They both say everything. And my friend from Coda just told me about these statues that they have in DC now. And I'm going to be looking for that on the news, but I was like, what? And she was confused as to what they meant and whose side they were for. But anyways, one's supposed to be of Nancy Pelosi's desk. But yeah, that's what I've gotten into on Facebook. I'll tell you. I'll read you what I recently posted. I put it on my I put it on my community tab. But, what I basically said was, I'm getting into it less one-on-one now. It's not good for my mental health. I had a horrible mega man say that my children would be sent home in body bags because I said they were military. And he said, Harris will have them sent home in body bags. That's how vile and disgusting these people are. And I'm sorry, it's true. And I really don't think when I go, I'm sorry. It's just, it's my opinion. And, when they come in here and they're calling me, like saying I have something, trying to say I have something against immigrants, trying to get a rise out of me, trying to disrupt my life. And then someone coming in here who I thought was a friend and a follower, but she didn't like that I started talking about politics and was against her, who she was going to vote for. And I feel like she wasn't totally honest because she's like, I don't like either one of them. But she wasn't being honest. And then she tried to lie and say I said a bad word in my devotional, which at that point I wasn't even talking about politics in my devotional, but she neglected to say I was talking about what Donald Trump said in the last, and it was from the last election, about grabbing women by their, yeah. And so she tried to say that I said that. I said that in my devotional. And I'm just like, that is so not cool. So she got blocked. And that was just very disappointing. And so that's why, but really, and I'm feeling like it's really a spiritual warfare. I didn't curse the last in channel chat. What are you talking about, Char? I feel like it is a spiritual warfare. I honestly do. Like, I don't know for sure. And in First John, it says that there's more than one. She said I said the word for female genitalia in my devotional. And she wasn't even talking about my devotional, for one. And then she didn't mention you were repeating what Donald Trump said. And then she gaslighted me and said, go listen to yourself. And it's like, no, I don't need to. I don't think I need to go listen to myself. I think I just need to block you because you're lying about me and then trying to gaslight me, telling me to go listen to myself. She needs to listen to herself. And she better watch her mouth because I'm a moderator at a channel she goes to. So she better watch her mouth over there because she'll get blocked from that channel too. Listen up. Because she's the one that said it in my chat. Only she used a word. I didn't know what the heck she was talking about because she was just talking out of her butt, But anyways, I'm going to say my well, I mean, I'm done. You guys, I used to put up with a lot of crap. I used to get bullied. I used to be in this cult. I know what it's like to be in a cult like environment and to feel like you can't say anything against the group. And I know what it's like to defend what they're saying and what they're doing. And oh, we're about saving babies. I used to feel that way. Let me share April A. Joy's. Wait, the new evangelicals. I'll share that. Um, the new evangelicals. That's like what I am now. I'm an ex-evangelical. I used to be in the cult. It's very, very cult-like. I read the Cult of Trump by Stephen Hassan. It's really good. Okay, the new evangelicals. This is really good. Yes, this is very, very good. I'll drop it. It's still red on the ends. Is that what color you call it? I don't really think I have any. Oh, are you talking about the thumbnail from not the one I meant? I was just letting my hair dye, my $7 hair dye grow out. But I got a wig on today. But anyways, beside the point. I'm going to read you a poem from the 7-Story Tree that is on the 12 steps. So I go to Coda, which is very helpful because I honestly would not be able to like dive into this and talk about this because all this crap that these megas are saying and doing to me would be too triggering and I wouldn't be able to do it. And so I am thankful for my recovery this far, that it's not triggering me as bad as it used to. But it's unpleasant. I mean, can you imagine for this guy saying he posted an article about Gen Z and he started it because he came to my page first. I just unfriended him on Instagram and I'm just like, I just don't want to deal with him. And no, I never do anything to my hair, honestly. I never really colored it either. I never colored it, and I don't know. I didn't color it until it started turning a little bit white. And then since I took the name Redheaded Writing Hood, I'm like, oh, this is my brand now, so I kind of need to keep it red. But anyways, I'm letting it grow out a little bit to see what the color is. Yeah, well, we were talking about bullying today at my meeting, and I'm really not in that group. There's some of them that I was still friendly with. I was, but I'm not really in that group. Like they kicked me out, and they bullied me, and they brought their pitchforks and torches, and they burned me at the stake like I was a witch char. Quite honestly. And then some of them that I thought would stay my friends weren't really, some of them were like, I'm neutral. And I wasn't really cool with them being okay with their other friends bullying me. I'm just like, what? And and it's all just like this the similar situation. And this is really what drove me back to Coda is one of the things we go over is the patterns. Is like you stay in toxic situations too long. In other words, I put up with too much bullshit. Excuse my language. Oh wow, I said a bad word. Sorry, Bren. Does that upset you? I put up with too much, and I'm not going to put up with it anymore. And yeah. And this election is unlike any, and this isn't, my mom and I would argued about Clinton and Bush. This isn't like that. And see, that's why I didn't like the way, and I don't know what happened in their personal life, but I didn't like Hillary being okay with what Bill Clinton did to her. And, and I saw her as like, my mom taking up too much, I was like, my mom had biblical grounds for divorce him. I ended up being glad they stayed together though later on. I mean, she loved him and she forgave him. That's her business. But I was sorry I didn't vote for Hillary, especially since Trump won. Yeah. So anyways, the Steps to Serenity is on page, what did I say it was on? 26? 31. So the 12-step prayer is, God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. This is the poem. Mutation reactions. I don't know what you mean. Steps to serenity. I'm powerless, Lord. I need your help, please. I turn my will and life over to you. You restore my sanity. I take inventory. Your love casts out my fear. I am searching, reaching, striving. I know denial is not a river. I admit the exact nature of my wrongs, till all my sleeves are stained red from all the truth that I've said. I'm ready, Lord. Take my load, I'll take yours. It's easy and light. I need vulnerability, accountability, and humility for Jesus to give me victory. He grants me true repentance and godly sorrow. I will not wait until tomorrow to make amends. Unless it would be hurtful, I will be tactful and truthful. This is going through all the steps. I seek him first in all I do, for he will always see me through. He always heals my deep heartache. A bruised reed he will not break. Now I am wide awake. I will carry his message both day and night, for I know he is the light. He delivers me from strife, and all his principles are life. What do you mean, like mutation reactions? I don't know what you're talking about, Char. Five watching. Thank you all for being here. Appreciate it. I'm getting more watch time, surprisingly, for talking about this. So everything is overboard these last 8 years. Oh, like Hulk? Did you watch that? What? He couldn't even whip his shirt off. Had anybody ever heard of this comedian? Now he's going to be famous for saying that racist joke about Puerto Ricans. And now, thankfully, Trump has alienated every group. And like someone I was talking about, someone I was talking to on Facebook, I've talked to him here, said on Facebook, I haven't heard him say anything racist. And I'm just like, okay, like you need to listen to him. Okay. You need to listen to what John Kelly says. He told him, you need to listen to him. It's very simple. If you haven't heard him say anything racist, you are not listening to him. And then you need to stop believing what he says. Everything like, I know you're lying because your lips are moving. Baby, do you think I'm dumb? He likes his followers uneducated. Yeah, looks that way. You're making generalized statements, Char, and I don't really know what you're talking about. Everything is overboard these last 8 years. You came for poems. I got Diet Coke. My friend and I were eating at Chipotle. I do poems, but I'm going to speak my mind too, because it's too important. It's too important. And I think if you voted or are voting for him, that, especially as a Christian, you're deceived. And the Bible says the Antichrist will deceive even the elect. And so that's why I feel so strongly about this. And it's very cult-like. The book, the Cult of Trump, is very, very good. It's by Stephen Hassan. He was in. I can put a video up because I heard about it. Well, I heard about it on Luke Beasley first, talking to. Let me do Luke Beasley. Luke Beasley talking to Pam Hempill. I keep telling people to listen to Pam Hempill. It's very good. This is where I think I had heard of the But I'll be saying poems too. I'll probably say my storm poem next. It's about prayer. I think we should be praying and praying for magas, especially the Christian magas. They're in a cult and they've been brainwashed, and they need to look into the issue of abortion and see what Trump's abortion bans have done, like in Texas, in Georgia. Women are dying because they can't get a DNC. I mean, this is what I didn't know when I was against. I was just like, that was my one issue. That was it. That was my one issue. And so it doesn't make sense. It's a dichotomy that you're going to vote to put a felon, convicted sexual offender into office just so he'll ban abortions. And then women who want to carry their baby to term and then miscarry can't get a DNC and their lives are in danger. And you don't have to put aside your personal beliefs. My mom was a Christian Democrat, and this is the thing we would argue about. I would be like, Mom, myself. And my friend Susan in Boca Raton said it to me. You can't be a Christian and vote for abortion. But I said, there's less abortions when they're safe and they're legal. And yes, I was just thinking about it, when I posted something about my 3 daughters. Now, I know one for sure is for Harris, the one I'm speaking to, but my oldest used to be for Trump, but maybe she's come to her senses. I pray she has. I pray for her daily. I pray for my children daily, sometimes hourly. My oldest son was sometimes hourly, many times a day. I love my children, but my oldest was for Trump, but maybe she's changed her mind. And they are all in battleground and red. My youngest is in Texas. And I pray she's voting for Harris for her future, But I don't know. Yeah, we don't know when the time will be. And if you look in 1 John, it says there's already Antichrist gone out into the world, So when I'm saying that, I don't think and a lot of people are agreeing with me. When I first said it, I said it to my friend, Chris Quails in Georgia, when I was in Georgia in October 2021. And he was like, yeah, I've been thinking the same thing, but I hadn't ever shared it. But now, I'm trying to talk some sense into some people. Now, Tim, who was here on Monday, he's not even I don't really know what religion he is, but he's not Christian. And it upsets me. It upsets me very much that these MAGA Christians, quote unquote Christians, are making us all Christians look bad. And I want to say that too. Please, people, if you weren't raised in the church, if you don't know anything about Christianity, please don't think that all Christians are like MAGA. Please don't, because I am a Christian and I am not that. And I don't believe that. And I now believe, me personally, I haven't had an abortion. I don't think that would have been right for me. Some people asked me what I was going to do because I was 19 and pregnant, but I was married. Some people asked me what I was going to do. I honestly believe my mother-in-law wanted me to get an abortion. She's Asian, and she's very, she loves Trump though, But I honestly think she wanted me to abort my oldest, honestly, sadly. But no, I wasn't going to do that. And I did not do that. But I don't, I just think we shouldn't have our beliefs put them on somebody else. And plus, when it's safe and legal, and also when I was pro life, I didn't know about these things that are affected, and IVS is affected, and Donald Trump just lies and lies and lies. I'm the father of IVF. No, you're not. You killed it when you killed, reproductive rights. And I didn't know. I'm trying to be more. I was not informed, but to not be, because I usually am very hard on myself. Like I said, like this, my monster card. I judge what I think, say, or do harshly, and is never good enough. My little monster card from Coda. To give myself credit, I, didn't have time. I had 5 children to raise and take care of, and my ex. Who are you talking about? Interpretation can cause harm. Who are you talking about? My husband alienated me from my daughters, but thankfully my middle daughter contacted me after she had my grandbaby Freya in 2022. So, and I'm not close to the van life community either. They kicked me out. I'm such an evil, evil redheaded stepchild. So I don't know what you're talking about. So I'll read another poem. Oh, I'm going to do the storm one. It's like my favorite one. And prayer has become the subject. So that's what prayer has become the subject of my channel. I really believe like that's God. And it's like so many things because came up in the bullying situation, because I joked about, Jesus said to pray for your enemies. Not that I necessarily see MAGA as enemies, but my bully I saw as an enemy. And so I did this blog post and I got in trouble, and that's how he did the second video about me. And they were grasping at straws. They didn't like me. I feel like they were jealous of me. They didn't like me. They wanted me out of the community. And I was so anxious, and it was so upsetting. It was very triggering to me. I stopped doing, I would have been monetized sooner. I would have been monetized if not for the bullies, because I was going live every week. And, my channel was gaining momentum, and they basically killed it because it affected my mental health. And so I just didn't want to be on. I wanted to quit YouTube, but I felt like that wasn't what God wanted me to do. And I'm talking about bullies again, because we talked about it today at Coda. And also because I feel like a lot of the MAGA were bullies, like that guy who said, Harris will send your daughters home in body bags. I mean, how sweet and how lovely, I'm just like, bye, Frank. As usual, you MAGAs are so lovely and sweet. and nice, so Christian. I don't know this guy really, but I don't think anybody else, probably everybody else probably knows he's not a Christian too. He's probably a narcissist like my father-in-law. But anyways, um, nasty people. And in the past, I wouldn't have been able to deal with this. I wouldn't have. It was a very hard decision for me to start talking about it here on my channel, but I feel like it's too important. And I feel like I can have a connection to the Christian megas because I was in that. I was a Republican for 20 years. I was. I'm still trying to find the pictures of my Bush Cheney shirt. But I was uninformed. And so I just heard, about what happened in 2000 from Michelle Obama. And I was just like, I didn't know that's what happened. And here I was with a Bush. And I think that might've been the time, was that when Ross Perot ran? My ex, I got mad at my ex for voting for Ross Perot. But yeah. So no, I'm no. Well, I think they're staying close to each other, but I don't think they really talk about it. Like my son is liberal like me, and he's how I know that my oldest is for Trump. She came over here, and she's kind of like me. Like my oldest two, I don't know. They got maybe the weirdest, worst combinations of me and my ex-husband. I don't know. Because she's for Trump, yet she's outspoken like me. And so she was saying, when she was here, I don't know when, last time, she was go Trump. I think it was the 2016. No, because he wasn't in here. It must have been when he was in office. So between 2016 and 2020. So, and then my middle daughter and my oldest daughter are very close, but I doubt they talk about it. And my middle daughter's like me in that she acquiesces to everybody. Maybe a little codependent. Is like me. She just gets along. My middle children get along with everybody. And then my youngest, I don't know what she's voting for. And where I was having the discussion on, I'll say, because I don't think she cares if I say, Lucretia, Burning Up the Roads, Facebook is where we were having the discussion. And her sister is not, is liberal. And so that's where we were having the discussion. But so that's a family member. My friend, my CODA friend, her husband, and like she met him. She so inspires me because she's a writer like me. She's writing her book. And hi, Dana, love you. She's writing her book. She watches me on her TV. So she so inspires me, and her husband is a Republican. So, but she loves him, and she interviewed. So it's like maybe someday, if I don't just meet someone by chance, I'm praying about that too. She interviewed 94 people, but like on her channel, is she? On her channel, is she? I think maybe she is. I think I did see she had some stuff. Most of these people I'm talking to, and I'm talking to on Facebook, I'm like, okay, if you're so brave and so bold as to say this over here, say it on your YouTube channel. Say it on your YouTube channel. You know, I feel like there was someone emailing me, I was saying before, and my email's full, and I have to either buy more storage or, you know, delete my emails. I'm going through them. And I blocked her because she keeps sending me these conservative things like, oh, Hobby Lobby, oh no, they're selling occultic stuff. Oh my goodness. You know, and I'm just like, I don't want to hear this. This is a bunch of baloney stuff that I used to buy into, you know. And I don't anymore. And yeah, this is the first time I'm being outspoken as I am, and I'm a liberal now, Char. So I may say I was outspoken before, but as a Republican, and then I just wasn't talking about it. So, but this is too important. This is too important. And I really feel, you know, Donald Trump is the dangerous one. And it's insane that they're saying they're calling her a communist. And like, that's why I'm like, bring your receipts. Bring me one receipt. Bring me one evidence of her saying he has said he wants to do away with the Constitution. He said it on his, you know, he said he wants to pardon January 6ers. Look up what happened on January 6th. He said he wants Hitler. He wants generals like Hitler. He said it. You can, you know. I'm like, liberals, just bring me receipts. Like, and tell me if you're gonna call Nancy Pelosi a hag. Tell me one thing that she did that hurt you. Tell me one thing. Give me receipts. Tell me one thing. Like, don't bring me this. Yeah, it's just like, bring me receipts. Bring me receipts. You know, and they can't. They can't. They don't have them. They don't have them. You know, and Kamala is going to start World War III. Where are the receipts? Like, give me some evidence of that. Give me some evidence of that. It's really kind of painful for you to say that. But anyways, no, my ex has done the, yeah. And let's talk about narcissists. There's narcissists on both sides. So in my family, I have liberal narcissists and mega narcissists. So both. So I'm not saying that all mega and some of them are not. So yeah, I can talk about what I want exactly. But people that come to my channel regularly know that no, it's not good with my girls either. But especially like my family, I might go. I don't know if I'll be able to go probably enough. And I don't know where it's at because it's not at the church. But there's a grief group tomorrow morning at the church I visited. So I might email them and find out because all my family's gone or I'm out of touch with them for various reasons. So all I have is my kids, and I'm in contact with 3 of them. I have 5 kids. And you know, partly it's, you know, I'm not saying I've been perfect. I was a good mom, but my ex, I feel like, has poison, you know, has just like stirred up the pot and just caused my kids to, you know, hate on me. And thankfully, I'm really thankful for my middle 2. I've never been out of touch with um, my younger son. Sometimes, from time to time, my older son it's a different story. It's a whole different story. But there's things there, and I can't go into all of it. But I mostly have stayed in touch with him. It was kind of like there was this other family from our old church, the First Baptist church we went to, which was Green Acres. Green Acres is the place to be. Um, and there was this family. They had four. They were about our age. They were about the same age as us, and they had four kids, and two girls and two boys. And so they divorced, and it was kind of interesting. It was kind of similar. And the girls sided with the dad, and the boys sided with the mom. But eventually, they all reconciled. So, yes, thank you, Sylvia. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And it's just like, you know, and keep on topic, and keep on, like, over at Lucretia's, we got into, we talked some about guns, and then we were talking about, the pandemic, because some people say he handled the pandemic well, and some people, his followers think he handled it well. And I'm just like, yeah, he told people to inject bleach, and then they're going back and forth with arguing about this. No, he didn't say that, and blah blah blah. And I'm just like, why are you arguing about 4 years ago? I mean, let's keep on point. And then Tim came in here, and he's saying stuff about Obama, and then he's calling Nancy Pelosi. I'm like, let's stay on top. Let's stay on topic. Let's stay on now. Let's stay on, and even it got heated with Roy, and that's why I brought up, about he's a sexual assaulter, and that I brought up what he said way back when, that, grab women by the, and then I get in trouble. Like I said that during a devotion, which I didn't, which was a lie, but we got onto that. But let's stay with, let's talk about Kamala, and let's talk about Trump. Let's stay on that. Let's stay in now. Don't go over here. I'm not talking about Obama. I'm not talking about Nancy Pelosi, and, you're upset about that. You got a YouTube channel. I don't think he wants to talk about that on his YouTube channel. But, you want to call Nancy Pelosi a name, go over there and put that on your YouTube channel and see how that goes over. But keep it off of mine, because, I'm not going to put up with it. Hey, Sam. Hi, Sam. Oh, my goodness. I need to go visit you. Are things nice and peaceful in Australia? This is Sam, my friend in Australia. How are you? How are you doing? Yeah, but the thing is, they wouldn't dare, and it's like, if you wouldn't freaking say that on your own channel, don't be coming over here saying that on mine, It's good to see you too. Well, thank you for being here. We're talking U.S. politics. I'm interested in your because I think he's made our nation, our country, a laughing stock. They don't like him. There's people rooting for Kamala that aren't even in the, they can't vote. They're like, I can't vote. Like, there's a Canadian on Twitter who talks about it. And then I said something on, I love the Naked Pastor, y'all. Like, he has a YouTube. Wait, let me see if I can Share. I should share his Facebook. That's where he shares a lot of. Let me see. And he had his whole Facebook taken. Oh, and he didn't even realize it, but he got it back, thankfully. And then I found out it had been taken, and I'm like, oh my goodness, I didn't even know somebody had taken over his and it's probably very large. I don't know. Let me see if I can find it. I was talking about in 2021. The naked pastor is the only male pastor I like anymore. My favorite pastors are all women. Eugenia Gamble, my mom and dad's pastor when they were living, Nadia Boltz-Weber, and I still even like Joyce Meyer. Those are still my favorite pastors. I like Peter Hyatt out of the Sanctuary in Denver, though. I like him. I think I like the pastor his name is Quinn, at this new church I visited in Parker. Yeah, I can't find him on here. He might be called something else. I'm not sure. Anyways, thank you all for being here. So Sam is in Australia, and I found her on Instagram, and you can drop your link. Oh, well, I'll drop it because you're making dinner. Oh, and I wanted to share the Pam Hemphill video. Here's Pam Hemphill on Luke Beasley. And I like to share these because it's people who've come out of Trumpism. Here's that. But let me share Sam's link. And I'm going to say my storm poem. But another thing that came up, so I got in trouble for joking. I didn't really pray for him to die, but I didn't put of hope. And this paper crane came up, but not Sam's channel. But she used to leave them paper cranes. Do you still leave paper cranes sometimes? And that's where her that's what she would post on her Instagram. And I really liked that because I just like encouraging memes and stuff like that and reels. And I love that. Beef stew. It's the morning there. Oh, cool. Cool. She started doing it again. Because that's what I feel like. This is what I put this banner up on my Facebook, Kamala, and the M is for Make America Love Again. The MALA. Make America Love Again. Kamala is a vote for hope, a vote for joy, a vote to end the hate and the racist language like that Puerto Rico is a pile of garbage floating in the ocean, that stupid comedian said at the Trump Madison Square Garden rally. Look it up. Look it up. It's really sad watching. Yeah, see? It's sad. It's like we're in a civil war. You know, having to block I just had, well, I just let her block me. She laughed. I actually made the comment. I'm like, are you seriously gonna click on that and laugh? And this was someone like I honestly don't really know her. Like, this is someone from 40 years ago. I knew her from middle school. I knew her from high school. It's just like, oh, that name looks familiar. Oh, I know. I kind of remember her. Oh, okay, I'll be friends with her on Facebook. Didn't really know her. Didn't ever. I don't know if I even saw her ever at a reunion. I'm not sure if she was in my class. I don't think I ever saw her at a reunion. But anyways, so yeah, Trumpster in Florida. And she actually laughed at my comment. I'm like, I just had a mega say, Harris is going to send my baby girls home in body bags. What a vile, disgusting thing to say. You know, and that's supposed to be a Christian. That's supposed to be, you know, and so he's blocked. And I think I got this girl to block me. You know, I try not to say, I'm like, I'll pray for you. Bye. But she actually laughed at my comment. Is that something to laugh at? That's something you should see. You should say, you know, maybe you could say, I'm sorry they said that to you, but I'm not like that. But you would laugh? You think that's funny? You think that's funny? Really, Tammy? You think that's funny? Because I don't think that's funny. And so that's an experience I've had. And then I was going to be done. You know, I didn't have to unfriend or block Lucretia, of course, because Lucretia is usually pretty reasonable. And her sister is a liberal like me. So I felt like, you know, I'm like, okay, I'm done here, but I'm glad you're here. You're the voice of reason. And I was glad not to be alone with. It's next Tuesday. And I'm probably going to be voting in person since I think it's too late for me to send mine in now. I think. So I think I'm going to go in person. Next Tuesday. Yes. Send us all your positive vibes. Please. Send us all your prayers and positive vibes. But anyways, my channel has become about prayer, and it's because of my storm poem. It's because I got accused of, I made a bad joke, and I got accused of praying for the bully to die. I was just like, the way it's the way my blog has always been. Sort of a conversation with God, and it's like, oh, I'm supposed to pray for my enemies. Okay, Lord, I'll pray for him to die. And it was a joke. It was a bad joke, but that's how I got totally in trouble. And then him, and it wasn't even about his ex-girlfriend. She's the one that stirred him all up against me. And it wasn't even about her at all. So she did a whole video that I was praying for her to die, and he did that I was praying for him to die, and then he took it down. But two of their videos, the one that she did, and the first, he did a whole live stream about how evil I am, and they were up for 2 years. And you guys, that is unacceptable. I should have never let those stay up for 2 years. So finally he took it down. I was thankful for that. After 2 years of it being up, it got up to 6 over 600 views, I think 680 views. And then hers was up from January 2022 till last November. And get this, he got prayer. This is prayer again, prayer. He got her to take down her video. And I got him off my case because I prayed, again, prayer. I prayed for him to get with this other van lifer from Canada when they were both at courtside in 2022, right after he put up the second video. And I believe another big van lifer, I believe it was D, that got him to take down that second video. So he took his down, and then his ex-girlfriend left hers up, and she got all in a huff about and went after, because she's very toxic and narcissistic. She started going after her and left me alone, only left her video up. And I should have never let those two videos stay up for 2 years. That was freaking ridiculous. But that was me like, turn the other cheek, man. Turn the other cheek, man. No. That wasn't a situation for turn the other cheek. No. Jesus was for seeking justice. He turned the money changers out of the temple. Jesus was for standing up for truth. You know, I don't think Jesus wants me to be a doormat. And I also don't think that Jesus wanted me to just stand passively by and not say anything when I can't stand Trump. I can't stand it that our country and that Christians are so being deceived, and he could very well be the Antichrist. And it's just, you know, our precursor to that, because they're in this cult. They're so easily swayed. Anybody that's a leader in the cult that's going to say, you know, it's like, it's okay. You know, they turn a blind eye. It's all right. Yeah. Has he ever said anything that was true? He cheated on his wife with a porn star. And get this, you guys. Nobody talks about this, but I noticed because I look up ages and stuff online. Do you know that Trump Jr., Don Trump Jr.'s, and now Linda, and my hat's off to you. She put it on her YouTube. Linda met Donald Trump Jr. and has his picture on her YouTube, but she doesn't talk about this crap on her YouTube. I dare you to do that. Do that. Talk about it on your YouTube, Linda. See how that goes over. So anyways, Donald Trump Jr.'s fiance is older than his dad, than his stepmother. Donald Trump's fiance is 1 year old, like 1 year older than his stepmother, than Melania. But anyways, whatever. That's irrelevant, but it's a fun fact. It's a fun fact. I'm just like, and I don't think they're really. So Brenda Berner sent me this interesting thing of, and this is irrelevant too, but it's just interesting. She's like, this is interesting, and it was a card reader doing reading their chakras, reading Kamala's chakra and Donald Trump's chakra. I'm really becoming an out there liberal. No, I'm really not. I'm not really into that. But anyways, it was interesting, and I did finally watch it. I didn't watch it right away when she sent it to me. You guys, I'm so busy watching all these videos. The Lincoln Project, I love that. Luke Beasley, Midas Touch. You guys, there's so many great liberal channels. Tennessee Brando, I shared that on Monday. But anyways, I should change up my channel links, but I don't know if anybody looks at those. But anyways, I share all these. I'm sharing these all on my community tab. But anyways, so this card reader said Donald's hiding something, and I'm like, oh, I bet it's Melania. They're probably not even really. They're probably separated. Yeah, we should pray for them. Let's pray for them tonight. I'll put them on. I feel sorry for the kids. I really think, speaking of, they're all about conspiracy theories, like COVID was all a hoax, Oh, Sandy Hook. You guys, years ago, I was so offended when the thing came out that 9/11, some of them, this InfoWars people, that they are Trump people, and they were at January 6th. This InfoWars people, there was a person who had a child at my child's school that had that, and then 9/11 was an incident. That was so offensive to me. And that's when in 2017 to 2019, I did Airbnb in my home. And that's when I said, no talking politics. And I had it on my page at Red's Airbnb on, the Airbnb site. No, my rules, no talking politics, because of one of those buffoons. He probably was MAGA. They gave me a nice soap though. I think they had a soap business. They made soap. But I was fuming, and I didn't do it. I didn't argue with these people, but he believed 9/11 was an inside job, and it's when I had little J-Lo at I had these kids. I was telling Dana about this today. I'm like, I had these kids that came to my Airbnb, and it's like, I'm like, oh, my kids are making me feel like I was a bad mother. I'm a failure. I was horrible mother. I was awful. What did I do? What did I do? I was so awful. And I just recently realized, I'm like, oh my goodness. So at that time, and I really feel like that was God too. That's not a prayer thing, but that was a God thing. I'm like, okay, here are my kids acting like I was a horrible mother when I wasn't. My ex is brainwashing them. Speaking of brainwashing. And yet here are these kids that are my kids' age paying me to stay at my Airbnb. And basically, I'm mom. Some of them would call me mom. And I'm like, okay, maybe I'm not so bad at this. I mean, because that's basically what they were paying me to do, because I would feed them, fix their rooms for them, wash their sheets for them, all of that. And that's what J-Lo, but J-Lo sided with, I'm like, really, seriously? But she was just being, and kind of codependent, kind of dysfunctional. She was siding with this guy, and I'm like, say what, J-Lo? So your dad, who she loved her dad, she had a narcissistic stepmother though. That's why she was looking for a mom figure. But I'm like, really, your dad is military and he fought for this country that did that to themselves? Really? But it was so, and that's why I came up with that no talking politics at my Airbnb. And then I had the Canadian couple. Remember I told you about the Canadian couple? So interesting. So she takes me side to side. Can I ask you a question? I think she probably saw the rule and was just like very careful about, can I ask you what you, she's like, we are a house, and these are Canadian. These are Canadian people. He was a pastor, and I was just like, probably a misogynistic Baptist pastor. I'm sorry, but she was like, can I ask you? She's like, we're a house divided. And here they are, Canadians. They're a house divided over Trump. And he liked Trump and she didn't like Trump. It was so funny. And she was like a lot younger than him. And she said it was just very cute. I think she said something like, "Yeah, he met me. I was out rollerblading or something." And hey, hello, hello. We had a pastor in here Monday night too. He didn't say too much, but anyways, hello, Pastor Huckleberry. We're praying, and we're praying especially for megas to wake up. And I was telling you on Monday too, I was listening to so anyways, I told this lady, I'm like, I'm with you. I'm with you. Because she did not like him and her husband liked him. And I often wonder if that couple's still together. They had like 5 children like me. Oh, thank you. I wouldn't waste my time reading her memos, but anyways. I don't think she's okay. I honestly wouldn't vote for her either. And I don't think she's for abortion at any time, and neither are liberals. Another one of Trump's lies is in the debate. And see, like he said, they're eating the cats, they're eating the dogs, and that's what everybody was focusing on. But he said that that liberals were for abortion up till 9 months and like even killing the baby after it's born. That's insane. And you know what Harris said to him? That's an insult to all women that they would do that. And it was. And it was another lie of his gazillion lies. They've counted his lies. It's like 30,000 now or something like that. It's ridiculous. Why would I read her memos? There's too much good stuff to read. Or like the Word, I would read the Bible instead of that. But if you want to know my beliefs, Pastor Huckleberry, if you're new here, I was a Republican for 20 years. So I left Georgia in 2020. I was married for 32 years, actually, to a covert narcissist. I have 5 grown children. I was in the Baptist church for 25 years in Georgia. Does that excuse him? Why is he's running for president? Why is he repeating that? And why is he repeating crap? Oh, I heard it on the TV. I don't understand why anybody thinks he's intelligent. He's shrewd. I'll give him that, but he's not very intelligent. And I believe he's going to lose. I'm hopeful that he's going to lose and Kamala's going to win. Good night, Shar. Trump was only that doesn't excuse him for lying. And he didn't say that. And why would he do that? That is so stupid. All you have to do is say something and people will repeat it. Not people who can think for themselves. Should that be true of someone who wants to be president again? too. What I'd say to anybody on the fence too is like, let's give Harris a chance. He's already been in there for 4 years. And why do people conveniently forget about, they conveniently forget about the pandemic and they think he handled that well? Go back and watch some more things on how he handled the pandemic. Please, please. He did not handle that well. And January 6th, go back and really find out what he did on January 6th. Okay, I'm waiting for an answer. All you have to do is say something and people will repeat it. Not anybody that I would vote for. That's, Harris is not stupid enough to do that. So you're just going to repeat, blah, 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 blah. The sky is red. Oh, all you have to do is say something and somebody will repeat it. Oh, the sky is red. Yeah, all Trump has to do is say something and the MAGAs will all believe it. Like they think he's good looking too. Because he keeps saying that. It's hilarious. It's hilarious. And I bet Arnold Palmer's daughter is probably so happy for how everybody's going to remember Arnold Palmer now. I mean, so insane. So ridiculous. And that's why I feel like it's a spiritual battle. It's a spiritual battle. And people are deceived. And that's what it says in the last days. Christians will be deceived, even the elect, And I don't know. Nobody knows when Jesus is coming again. Nobody knows. But anyways. What kind of church do you pastor, Pastor Huckleberry? And what state are you in, if you don't mind telling us? I'm going to say my storm poem. But so anyways, prayer. Because of my storm poem, my channel's focused on prayer. Because of my bad joke about praying for your enemies, I did not pray for him to die, but I prayed for him to get with the van lifer from Canada when they met in courtside and they got together. And I was just like, Lord, thank you, Lord. And then he left me alone. And guess what? They're married now. You guys, prayer works. So I'm going to say my storm poem. And it's in this book. And like I said, if you want a copy of this book, PayPal, Venmo, Cash App me, a gift of any amount. If you're out of the country, please send me more, for postage is a lot out of the country. And send me your snail mail address to this email. I have sent it out of the country several times. I've sent it to the UK. I've sent it to lately the Philippines. I think I have sent it to Canada too. Yeah, I've sent it to Canada. Straight and Narrow Ministries. Okay. I don't know. That's not a denomination that I know of. Just non-denominational. Anyways. I'm a Christian Universalist now. Like Origin, William Barclay. That's why I was reading a William Barclay devotional on my channel. But anyways, my storm poem was out of something I went through in 2013. And without saying what the situation was, I still don't share that on here. I wrote this poem. You say that no one cares for you? Well, that's not true, because I do, and God does too. Oh, that I could fix your problem. I'd mend you up. You'd no longer be stuck in that addiction or depression, the trials that come in rapid succession. But what can I do? I cannot fix you. I can't make you believe or even relieve that deep ache in your heart. Just where do I start? Don't do nothing, she yelled at me. So what should I do? Scream and shout and run about? Perhaps sit and pout? No, I'll fight a war upon my knees, and quietness and confidence shall be my strength. He keeps my prayers and my tears. Perhaps the overflow makes the rain to water all the pain upon the earth. I'll thank him for this thorn. I'll praise him even when I'm worn, because he carries me through the storm. He walks to me on the tempest sea. The rain brings life back to my dying tree, and one day through the clouds I'll see the rainbow. So there's that. And something I was thinking about today, and I don't usually share this because I don't want to sound, I've always like not wanted to sound like I was bragging. That always like annoyed me. I never wanted to sound like, I don't like to sound like I'm bragging, and I'm not really like that, I don't think I was the only one. I don't think I was the only Christian praying this. But speaking of 9/11, I was homeschooling my kids at that time. My youngest was just 9 months old, almost 9 months old. She was born on January 28th. I wanted her to be born on the 11th. I had some feeling about the 11th, only I was doing January, right? I wanted her because I have very big babies. My oldest son was weighed the most. He was 10 pounds, 9 ounces. My first baby that I had when I was 20, that I was pregnant with when I was 19, right when I got married, came like 9 months, almost to the day. I probably got pregnant with her right before I got married, but 9 months to the day I was married. Had her when I was 20. She was 9 pounds, 12 ounces. Claire weighed the least. She was 8 pounds, 8 ounces. And that was like the only time the epidural worked too. I didn't know. And that's why, like, because it didn't work when I had Teddy at 10 pounds, 9 ounces. So with Ian, I didn't have anything. And oh gosh, I was exhausted. It was just so traumatic. He got stuck. He had the bowel movement in me, and he was 10 pounds, 1 ounce. Lydia was 10 pounds, 1 ounce. So anyways, I had a feeling about the 11th, and later on, I think that was not a good feeling. That was a bad, I thought I was going to have her on the 11th, but the 11th of January came and passed. And because I wanted her birthday to be 1/11/01. Her birthday would have been 1/11/01 if she was born on the 11th. But I was like, what is this feeling I had about the 11th? And then September 11th happened. And we had this, it was so cute. We had this family, this sweet family that rented our house, the house that I ended up getting in the divorce, but we rented it out. This sweet family, Christian family, that rented our house. And when they were in our house, they had a baby. She had a daughter from a previous marriage, but this couple together, they were so adorable, such an adorable couple. So they had a baby, and their baby was born on 6/7/08. And I guess that's why I was thinking, it'll be cool. She'll be 1/11/01. Like, I'll never forget that little girl's birthday, 6/7/08. And then I ended up getting them a gift, and it ended up being like that one thing that she loved. And like I ran into her at the store, and she's like, Teddy Betty Bear, this is the lady that gave you Teddy Betty Bear. And I was like, I'm glad she liked that. It would play a little song when you hit it. And so it was so cute. And but about 9/11, I was taking my kids to since we homeschooled, that was I think it was a Tuesday, and 9 a.m, we're on the East Coast in Georgia, and we're going to, it was at 9 o'clock was karate. It was homeschool karate. They were in homeschool karate, and another Christian lady was there too. And we had a TV in the front of the thing, and our kids were back taking their class together. And I just watched in disbelief and horror, and that the plane has hit the building, and I said to Carrie, the person I was with, I was like, we gotta pray. We got to pray right now. And I pray, and she has said, and like I said, I don't like to brag, but she said, I was glad to be that day with a prayer warrior, because we prayed for it to be thwart anything else that's going to happen. Because we heard, that it hit the, the Twin Towers, and then the Pentagon. And we prayed for it to be thwart. And at that very time, and I read the book about Todd Beamer. At that time, when we were praying for anything else about to happen, the plane went down in Pennsylvania that was going to hit the White House. And now I'm not saying it was just me and Carrie's prayers, but I bet other Christians saw that and were praying. So, and I might have said that one time on here, but I've never really said that to anybody. But Carrie has said to me, I'll always remember being with, and I think like she's still a friend she might be, she might be one of the quiet. I'm still friends with the quiet, nice magas. They can be. She might be, because she's from my church. And it was funny because I wasn't at her church anymore, but we had a situation at that Baptist church we were going to, and I met her. I knew her through homeschooling, but she was at the second church when I went, because 2002 is when we changed Baptist churches and we went to the other Baptist church. I was in the Baptist church for 25 years, and I was a Republican, and actually in the Christian nationalist cult, and I didn't even watch it. I got the little magazines from James Dobson. I listen to Rush Limbaugh sometimes, but not really. But my brother, I was just brainwashed. I would just vote however my husband, except for when he voted for Ross Perot. I didn't do that. I thought he was a traitor. I'm like, that's just a vote for Bill Clinton. You just voted for Bill Clinton. That's what he did. He voted for Bill Clinton. So, I didn't even know about all that was going on. I just was listening to Michelle Obama explain it all to me. And I was like, wow, that's what happened. Because the beer thing, he had a beer with you. So everybody, it was just like a, what do you call it? A protest vote. It was just a vote for Clinton, and then Clinton won, right? And then that's when my dad came to our house, right? They happened to be on the East Coast. I was visiting somebody else. And they came to our house, and my dad ripped my bumper sticker right off my van. He was mean. He was like, he was like the liberal, how the mean MAGAs are now. My own dad, this is and I'm like, who said that you could pull my bumper sticker off my van, Dad? My dad was a covert narcissist, and he was annoying. But my mom wasn't like, my mom didn't say anything. My mom knew I was upset. My mom was like I was when I went to my brother's house in 2020. I didn't say anything. I didn't wear my Vice President Kamala t-shirt. You know, I was nice. And then he is the one that, after I took care of his dying wife, kicks me off his property because he got with a, you know, bimbo. It's like a compliment to call her a gold digger. She wasn't nothing. Good luck with that, honey. Go try to find you another. But anyways, he broke up with her, thank God. After I wrote him and confronted him, after I got my money from my dad, I wrote him and finally confronted him for him being physically abusive when I was a kid, up until when I was a teenager. Yeah. But anyways, I wonder if I have everybody on my prayer list. Yeah, I still have, there are huge burritos. I still have a burrito from Chipotle. It was huge, huge, huge. And it took me 45 minutes to get home because of the traffic. I wonder if I shared out my video. I probably will. Did I share? I did. Okay. I did share Paper Crane of Hope, didn't I? I don't think I shared out my video yet, though. Let me see. Whoops, echoing. King James Bible only. I had a friend in the Baptist church who thought that was the only Bible you should read. Do you know how, like, if you search for the word hell in the Bible in different translations, it's all different amounts of time? Yeah. I've studied on hell now, and I don't believe in hell anymore. Thoughts on that? Some fundamentalists will tell me I'm a false believer, or some people have told, like Julie Forwarda, the book I talk about, Raising Hell, people have told her, like, you're going to hell because you're teaching there's no hell. Find me a verse on that. There's no verse on that. I'll just let you know right now. But anyways, let me see. The first rap, like before I started saying my poems, I never even thought of memorizing and saying a poem until the spoken word thing started coming around, and I started seeing it on social media, and I'm like, wow. And also I learned this Christian rap, and memorized it. And now looking back on it, it's a Christian nationalism, Christian rap. And I think I remember it. I'll probably say it for y'all. And it's funny, it mentions Trump in it. So this was from like 2012, maybe 20. Trying to think, when was it that I memorized that? Like 2012, maybe 2013. And what's crazy is, like, I have so many stories, you guys. It's ridiculous. It's why I'm writing a book. And I'm going to be writing more poems. I'm going to be writing a poem. I need to be writing more poems. And I'm going to be writing a poem about all of this, y'all. So keep praying for me. I'll keep praying for you. What was I going to do now? He didn't talk about hell more than he talked about heaven. That's what sometimes, speaking of people just repeating stuff they hear. You know how people, have you heard people say that? I've heard people say that. You've talked about hell more than you talked about heaven. That's not true. Not true. Look it up, people. So my I got myself open twice here. It's funny. I've read the Bible through several times, and I studied the Bible for 30 years. So I would never say he never talked about hell. But, like, what was he talking about? I'm going to share my pastor's site in his YouTube. His name is Peter Hyatt. And so I lost some people when I started talking about that I didn't believe in hell. I believe in a judgment. There's a judgment. It's not eternal. So I lost some followers. One of them called me a false believer, and he left. And he was one of my moderators also. And so now, and since I've started talking about politics, I've lost some moderators again because they were for Trump. Oh, everybody believes Google instead of looking it up for themselves. Try Bible Gateway. Try Bible Gateway. But are you only looking in for the King James? He talked about the kingdom of heaven. Did you go to seminary? Sorry, don't mean to be, I don't want to be disrespectful, but did you go to seminary? Pastor Huckleberry? So Peter Hyatt, it ends up, was in my church, was in the Evangelical Presbyterian Church where I was going here in Denver. He was in that denomination, and he had a very big church on the hill. I'm not sure exactly where, I should ask these people, like, where exactly was it and who's pastoring it now? Hi, Carolyn Hannah. Hello, how are you? But anyways, that's my pastor's YouTube. And so yeah, I lost some followers because I started saying I sound like a heretic. But William Barclay, that's why I was reading the William Barclay Daily Devotion, and I almost made it through the whole year, but I started reading this one, and not doing the daily celebration because it's not. It's kind of he did talk about men a lot, men in ministry, and so that's why I decided I would start reading this one. And I almost did get through the whole year though on the daily celebration. Relentlesslove.org. I think it's .org is my pastor's website, and his sermons are also on there. Cemetery. It's with an S. I will check him out. Have a blessed night. Yeah. All right. Good night. Wait. I'm putting his site too. Relentless. And I thought there was kind of a parallel here too. I was just like debating with these MAGAs. I've gotten into it a couple of times with someone who wants to argue with me, and it's like, just like you are not going to convince me, since I've been convinced by reading the scripture and going back by Julie Forwarda's book. I'll share that link too. I'll show you that book. And I also have copies still. If anybody wants a copy of Julie Forwarda's book, Raising Hell, I would send it to you. Like Pastor Huckleberry, if you wanted a copy of Raising Hell, I'll send it to you. Let me get it. I'll show you. And I'll show you my pastor's book too. So this is Julie Forwarda's book that I still have copies of. If you want to PayPal me just postage, if you want to PayPal me $4, I'll send you this. All right, I will send it for free. If you wanted it, Pastor Huckleberry, send me your snail mail address to this email, and I'll send you it for free. But she's just a lay person though. But she goes into the studies and all the websites where you can go into the Greek. She likes Young's literal translation. She goes in back to the Hebrew and the Greek, and it's very, very fascinating. If anybody here wants a copy of this book, just send me your snail mail address. I will send it to you free of charge. Free book, y'all. Free book, y'all. It's very good. Very in-depth study. This is my pastor. Also, if you wanted this one, he gives these away for free by my pastor in Denver of the sanctuary. That's his little thing. And this is what he wrote for them before they kicked him out of the denomination. So they kicked him out. So I found out this could only happen to Red. This could only happen to Red. So I'm going to the Evangelical Presbyterian Church, big church, Cherry Creek Presbyterian Church. I really like it. It's nice, but they believe in hell. They actually did a whole series sermon on it. And I still want to do a video on this. And it's funny, and I have, his sermon on hell, the pastor of, it was an associate pastor of Cherry Creek, his sermon on those on Christian universalism and how it's a false doctrine. And then another pastor that I ended up visiting this church on a Saturday night. Just, I'm like, what are the odds, And I end up at this church, and I'm like, and it's a whole sermon on hell, and I'm just like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Only me. So anyways, I found out that my old pastor was instrumental in getting my new pastor kicked out of the Evangelical Presbyterian Church. And I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. And he's like, yeah, Brad like drew a circle. And he's just like, he wasn't saying him, calling him a false believer, like someone on here was saying about me, because I said I don't believe in hell. But he's like, well, I'm not saying he's not a Christian, but this is our denomination, and Peter's over here. He's not in the circle, so we need to kick him out. So anyway, so he started this church in downtown Denver called the Sanctuary. And I've been visiting there a little bit, but it's really small, and it's far away is the thing. It's a half an hour away too, but like my CODA meeting. But so let me read you my poem where I mentioned hell. And I kind of like, when I send these out, I crossed it out here. Or I put a question mark by it. That's what I do. It's called Fisherman. It's the first poem in the book. It's the first poem in the book. I wrote it a long time ago, but this was my beliefs at the time. Fisherman. They've got to believe, I said to God. The Bible's true, they'll go to hell. Trust me, he said, you mustn't yell. But God, they could die any day. They've got to believe. I must show them the way. Trust me, he said. I am the way, the truth, and the life. Fishing is a passive sport. Settle down, Susan. You're rocking the boat. I dreamed of fishing and realized God brings them to you, the bait he provides. Do you have something they'll thirst for? You must be salt, but I'm the door. Trust me, live a holy life. Always be ready to give a reason, every day and every season. Hold forth the truth and never be a stumbling block to those who would come to me. And speaking of a stumbling block to those who would come to me, that's what MAGA is. MAGA Christians are a great big stumbling block. I like this TikTok. Okay, let me see if I can find it. My friend is smart. Where did the hair come from? My friend saw me with the long hair and got confused. It's me, Dana. I started telling her this story about getting accused of, and I didn't tell her the whole. We meet after CODA and talk, and then I was late. It made me late because of all the traffic to my live. I've got so many political text messages, but this is something. Let me see. Like, we can watch this. Wait, Siri, open X. I wanted to find this TikTok, but I couldn't read what the name was. I wanted to find this TikTok on TikTok, but I saw this TikTok on and here's April A. Joy. I want to share her thing again. Okay, this guy. I don't know. Bill Madden reposted it, but
the other day I made a video about Latino voters and how I don't think it's in their best interest to vote for Donald Trump, but
this is how I feel.
I'm not a Latino voter. I'll tell you what I am, though. I am a Christian, which makes me a Christian voter. And absolutely no group of people over the last 10 years has been more disappointing than my fellow Christians. you continue to backflip over yourselves and twist and tie yourselves into knots to justify and rationalize your continued support of this absolutely immoral and depraved man as the leader of your supposedly moral movement. And then you have the audacity when we ask, well, how can you support him? You'll say, well, I'm not voting for a moral leader, but I'm voting for him because his policies align with my Christian values. Okay, so wait. You are voting for a moral movement, just not one led by a moral leader. When you figure out how that actually makes any sense whatsoever, please let the rest of us know.
Yes,
and you
please.
seem shocked to learn that congregations across the country are dwindling in size, and you can't understand why people who aren't currently part of the Christian faith want absolutely nothing to do with what you say you have to offer. I'll tell you why. It's because your words, your actions, scripture, and the teachings of Jesus don't align. Not even a little. Donald Trump is very literally the anti-Beatitudes. He
Antichrist, maybe.
He himself is weak. But you'll turn to the Bible and cherry pick stories like Saul's conversion to Paul and say, well, look, all things work together for good through Christ, and God can take a bad man and do good things. You did not learn what you should have learned from the story of Paul. Because what you're doing is actually voting for Saul and hoping that somehow, somewhere along the way, he
miraculously.
Paul. And you have this distorted, perverted image of, it's the fusion of church and state. It's Jesus Christ, flanked by Donald Trump, riding in on war eagles, brandishing AR-15s, and wearing American flag headbands. Like, cha-ching, praise Jesus, glory be to God, pass the ammunition. It is insane.
It is. It's insane.
And to the pastors out there, you are failing your flocks. When you see that a member of your congregation has a Facebook picture of themselves, one wearing a shirt that says, I love Jesus, and another picture wearing a shirt that says, if you want to make something electric, start with the border wall. The only thing you should say to them the next time you see them is, when can we meet? I would like to sit down with you and the word of God and talk about your faith and your witness. Yes, this perversion shows itself best when it comes to current Christians look at immigration. And you seem to forget, pastors, that all the men that you talk about on Sunday morning, Abraham, Moses, Jesus, at some point, they were all immigrants, refugees, or in exile. Yes. I wonder if you and your congregation were a small village in the promised land and Moses and the tribes of Israel stumbled upon you. Would you have fed them and clothed them and helped them as Jesus taught? Or would you have hid your cats, dogs, camels, and donkeys because you were afraid they were going to get eaten by the scary immigrants, asked to see their papers and then turned them around and pointed them back out into the desert? You're voting for politicians that want to mandate and legislate Christian values instead of doing what you're supposed to do, because that is not what God or the Bible teaches us.
Yes, it's not.
You should spread Christian values through your witness, through the way you live your life.
Let's see your life.
See how you are and how you treat others. And they should want that. And they should come to you and say, hey, what is it you have in your life? Because I see how you are and I want that. And you get to say, I have Jesus Christ in my heart. May I sit with you and talk to you about Jesus? That is how you spread Christian values. Not through mandates, not through legislation, not through control. Look, Donald Trump is very literally everything that I was taught not to be. And if you're honest with yourself, he is very literally everything you were taught not to be. And he is very literally everything I hope that you are teaching your children not to be. So go back to fundamentals. Go back to basics.
Yes.
Sit with your Bible.
Yes.
Crack it open
and
pray. You might actually have a conversion experience worth having.
Yep. If I could find this guy, I want to find this guy. I'm going to try and find that. That was on Twitter, but I want to find it on X, and I want to show you this. You guys, this is what fellow born-again Christian call my baby Bible. My baby Bible. I can't believe it's so, like, in 1990, my oldest son threw up on it. And that was when I got a Bible cover. I used to have a Bible cover on it. I got rid of the Bible cover. But this is from 1980. This is my baby Bible when I became a Christian. And I got involved, and this was my friend from my senior year of high school. She was in it was in a cult. It was called the Worldwide Church of God. So I have lots of experience with, that's why I'm so interested in cults. And that's why I got the book on the cult of Trump. So I'm very interested in that. And I understand how people get involved in it. And, they're looking for the truth. They're looking for, the right way. They say a lot of things. They love bomb you. And, but I got out of it. Cults fearmonger you. And it was interesting. What happened that was interesting, and I was like, this is not right. Because I started doing in this Worldwide Church of God cult, and it was a Christian cult, and they took the Bible and they interpreted their own way. They worshiped on Saturday. They didn't work on Saturday. Like it was the Sabbath, didn't work on Saturday. I would get into a fight with my dad. He would try to make me clean out the pool purposely, just because, I said I would do it another day. And I was just like, but I prayed about it, and I asked God to show me, what was the real church, and, I felt like he showed me, maybe not all at once, but I realized that her church was wrong. And like she threatened me. She used fear mongering. And this, like, we were both kids. Like I was 17. She was probably 18. She said, "Oh no, Susan, don't do it. I've seen terrible things happen to people who leave the church, And so it was very interesting. And then she forgot what she had said to me, right? And so later, I don't remember how much later, but I got into contact with her. And guess what she said? Because one of the things I think she mentioned, terrible things have happened to people who've left the church, like car accidents or something, or I don't know, like whatever she said. She was fear mongering me. And that's what Trump uses, like to make you fearful of immigrants and World War III. I've had another since the one evil mean MAGA said, Harris is going to send your babies home in body bags. What a horrible thing to say. And then another, but the nice MAGA, the okay MAGA, Roy said she wants to start World War III. And they're thinking that like she's doing that. We've sent some troops to Israel, but still, like, Harris is the vice president. Do you understand the office of the vice president? They really don't do a lot of, she hasn't had a chance to be president yet. The vice president is basically there in case something happens to the president. That's what they're there for. If you can name anything big that any vice president has done, can you all name anything? And so anyways, this is my baby Bible. I actually got it from the cult person. So months later, she contacted me, and she had been in this horrible accident. She forgot what she told me. She must have forgotten what she told me, or maybe she left the cult. I don't know, but nothing happened to me. But she's like, oh, I was doing this. And she had one of those Gremlins. Remember the Gremlin car? My brother had one too for a short amount of time, and he wrecked his too. But maybe that car was cursed. See that movie? That movie was crazy. So she's like, oh, I had this terrible accident. My car was spinning around in the middle of the intersection. And then I was going like, huh, I thought that was supposed to happen to me. So anyways, I have experience with cults. And one of the sweet MAGA person that I just quietly unfriended, she took me out to eat when I was in courtside. Well, this is something I sort of thought, and I'm not going to say her name or anything, but she was in the with the Amish people, or is it? But she wrote a whole book, and that is very, very cult-like. And she talked of the abuse in it's the Amish. And like I have her book here somewhere, and I'm like, oh my goodness. So, and I have been almost, because like my Baptist church was almost like cult like, and so like I've been like drawn into it again. And also I was in this Way Down workshop, and if you Google this is wild, y'all. Before it became a cult, Gwen Shamlin of the Way Down workshop, I used to teach this in my class at and it was just it's really mindful eating, but you know, it was a Christian aspect. And then she turned this weight loss seminar into a cult. And then they were all in it. And then she married the guy that used to play Tarzan, and she divorced her husband because her husband was overweight, and she couldn't very well say, you're not right with God if you're not losing weight. You need to repent and stop overeating. But her husband was overweight, and she divorced him and married the guy that used to play Tarzan. It's a crazy story. Google her. Her name is Gwen Shamlin. And there's crazy videos on it. And she started a cult. But before it became a cult, I was in it. But when it became a cult, I started to go to a class, and these people, and they got mad. They got mad at me too. I got attacked. I was like, no, this is not right. And they would say things, and I would be like, no. And I sort of got kicked out of that group too. But Google that. And it was called the Way Down Workshop. And that was a cult. And so if you're susceptible to, wanting to be part of a group, wanting to be, I don't know, just part of a community that all believes in something, and I think you're susceptible to being hoodwinked into these cult-like groups. And then, like, when Trump came on the scene, I was just like, no. I was like, all right, no, not going to do it. I'm proud to say I've never voted for him. Never would ever vote for him. And I mean, he's just gotten more awful stuff since then and been convicted 34 times. And then January 6th, they keep saying, January 6th, January 6th, January 6th. Please Google it. 140 officers brutalized, injured. 4 officers took their own lives after being involved in that. Like, can you imagine this is the party of law and order, and they're brutalizing the police. They're spraying bear spray and pepper spray in their masks, and then putting their masks back on their face. They were outnumbered by all these people. They were thankfully this time they're going to be ready. And I'm praying, and I know that they know now, and they're hoping that all state capitals are prepared too. Like, a lot of these megas I know are in Arizona. Like I said, a lot of them are van life people are. And so that's another reason why I just didn't fit in. I didn't fit in. It's very cult-like. It honestly was. It was cult-like. So, yeah. I think, what is that saying? I don't know who said it. You weren't made to fit in. You were made to stand out. There you go. I'm going to let y'all go. I've gone 2 hours and 23 minutes. I'm going to pray now. I don't know who's still here. It says 6 watching. Thank you all for being here. Thank you very much. I hope you're good, Caroline. I'm going to put you down on my prayer list. Are you still here? I hope you're well. Thank you for coming in. We got Pastor Huckleberry, Glenn, Sylvia, Char, Sam. And I'm going to pray for y'all, and I'm going to pray for Magus, because I'm really concerned, and I'm really concerned about this country. I'm praying every day now for Kamala, for Trump, for our country. I pray for my kids every day. Just, you can study too much. I can definitely watch too much news. And you guys, I used to not watch any news, and now I watch it. Good night, Glenn. I'm going to pray now. Dear Lord, thank you for these friends and followers, Lord. I pray you bless them. Please be with Glenn and bless him and his friends. I pray that you would just be with him and guide us all in our lives, Lord. I pray that everybody will make a plan to go vote if they haven't already. I pray you bless Char, Lord. I pray that you would guide her into all truth. I pray for Sylvia, that you would bless her and her family and be with her and keep her safe. I pray you bless Sam. Thank you for her coming in here. I pray that you would be with her and her family and her little ones. I pray for Pastor Huckleberry, that you would bless him and his family and his congregation. I pray for Carol and Hannah, that you would bless her and her family. Lord, I pray for this country. Please keep us safe. Please keep us on the right track, Lord. I pray for justice to come to Donald Trump, Lord. I pray for that you would protect both candidates from any political violence, Lord. We are against political violence, Lord. I pray that you'd keep them safe, Lord, and watch over them, Lord. But I pray for the right candidate to win, Lord, and help whoever's candidate loses. Please help us to be able to accept it, Lord. I know I'm going to be very, very, very upset if Harris doesn't win, Lord, but I'm praying that she will. This man has already been president, Lord. Many see through his character and see how he really is, and many that were working with him and know him, like his vice president, are not supporting him, Lord. And I pray that he would not win, Lord. I pray that you would stand against that, Lord, that Harris would win, Lord, by a landslide if possible, Lord. And please, Lord, if anything that they're going to do to say it was fraud or rigged, or Lord, I pray that you would protect our democracy, our voting, Lord, that anybody that's trying to cheat or burn ballot boxes, I heard about that, Lord, that you would thwart that you would intervene, Lord, and that you would be on the side of justice. I just pray for this country, Lord. I pray for Magas, Lord. I pray for Lucretia. I pray for Roy. I pray for Tammy. I pray for Frank. I pray for Tim. I pray for Bren. I pray for Paul, Lord. I pray for all these people that I've been discussing with and had run-ins with, Lord. I pray that you'd bless them. I pray that you would open their eyes, that they would quit that they would take their blinders off, that you would open their eyes, that they would be able to, and that they would be able to accept that maybe they could have possibly been misled, or maybe they could have possibly been wrong, Lord. Help me to be patient and loving. Help us not to be name calling. It was particularly nasty the way Frank was to me. Linda was very mean to me, Lord. I pray that you would bless both of them, that you would open their eyes, that you would convict them that that is not the way to act. Especially they're going to not, but I thank you, Lord, that they're not going to turn many people to their seeing things their way. But Lord, these are hurt people. These are hurt people. And I pray for my brother. Of course, I love my brother, Lord. I want you to bless him. I want you to protect him. He's a police officer, Lord. I want you to watch over him and my nephew, Darren, Lord. I pray that you would bless them, but open their eyes to see, like, is this really what you believe in? Is this really what you stand for? That's really all I can do, Lord. Help me to accept the things I cannot change, be willing to change the things I can, and to have the wisdom to know the difference. Thank you for hearing my prayer, Lord. Thank you for all the prayers you have answered, Lord. Thank you for my parents and the blessing they were to me, Lord. They weren't perfect. Lord. But they were good parents. They tried the best they could, Lord. And I'm thankful for the inheritance I got from them. And I thank you for them. I believe they're with you, Lord. Please tell them that I love them. And I thank you for all your blessings on me, Lord. And I thank you for my children. I pray you bless them and watch over them and protect them. And my grandchildren, Freya and Lily and Noah, that you'd watch over them and protect them, help their parents to be good parents. And I pray all these things in Jesus' name. Amen. All right. That's it. I think I'm going to change the title of this, okay? Since we talked a lot about hell and cults, I'll put that on there. But happy Halloween. Tomorrow's Halloween. And that's why I put my wig on. I'm Southern Red, y'all. Y'all been out of shape because George has gone blue. George is gone blue again. Y'all just need to have yourself some sweet tea and some banana pudding, and you need to give that to the Lord. Go out and vote. I love y'all. Don't say that no one cares for you, because I do, and God does too. Don't forget to pray for Red, because Red is praying for you, especially you, Megas. God bless.